Hey everybody, it's Lacey. Welcome back to Paws and Paper. So we're here today for another Drab to Fab Friday. So we're going to take some good old lunch sack paper bags. And these are approximately like 5 inches by 10 3/4. That's the size I'm using for this project. But you can use any size because what will happen is what we're going to make is an envelope. And your envelope will just get narrower. So whatever size paper bag you have depends on how wide your envelope gets. So this is what we're going to make today. So I've made a couple of these, out of a paper bag. And we're going to make this cute envelope, 2-pocket envelope. And you can stuff all kinds of goodies in here. And this one here, I've just got a bunch of journaling cards stuffed into it, and I've just collaged the back of this one. And then I also have this one here, and I've just decorated this one up with some lace and a stamp and some cute little cluster there. And then this one I just made a little closure, paper closure out of that. Just some scrapbook paper, put some vintage magazine on the back of this one, and again, you've got quite a nice 2-pocket envelope. And this would be great just to tuck in a journal or use on its own. These actually end up being very sturdy, and they've got that wonderful crinkly paper, soft squishy texture to them. So let's go ahead and make one of these. So what you're going to need is a paper bag, lunch sack of any kind. Like I said, whatever size is just going to depend on how wide your envelope gets. Move these out of the way. And I also used just a 12 by 12 piece of scrapbook paper. Now these are the ones that are like you see in Joann's, like the single sheets. These are a lot thinner weight because this does get relatively thick, so I didn't want to use the real thick cardstock. These are sturdy. So even with this lighter weight paper, they turn out really sturdy. So I would definitely go for a lighter weight paper. So I'm just going to I'll do a more of a neutral one. We did 2 colorful ones there already. So a 12 by 12 and your paper bag. So and you can do this sew or no sew. Obviously they're all optional whether you sew them or not. Okay. The one thing you need about a paper bag, though, you're going to want to have one with a rectangle bottom. None of the ones that are completely, like flat. I don't know how else to describe that, but you do need to have one with a square bottom because this is what we're going to do. So take your bag and open it up. Now, this is what I found to be the easiest, and this is a little bit tricky, so just be patient with yourself. Stick your hands in it and flatten it out. So what you want to do is that fold over there, you're going to fold it out flat. Okay? And it kind of naturally goes that way. But you want to make it flat, fold it out flat. Now this is the part that can get kind of tricky because you see this fold there? We want that to come out. So you got to kind of like stick your hand in here and fiddle with it. So get that and to fold out. You see what I'm doing there? Trying to get that to fold out. Okay. And you gotta fiddle a little bit because what you want to do is you want this to lay flat, you want that fold to come out, and you want it to crease right along this line. So this part here needs to line up here. And we want this to lay down flat. So some of these will work really good, and some of them I had to really just kind of smush and crush. And you can see it's not laying down perfect, but we're going to cover this anyway. So if you can't get it 100% flat, don't worry about it. It's going to get covered up, but you just want to make sure you get your angle going there. So let's try to get this one. So it's a little bit fussy, but just give yourself some time. And once you do it one time, you'll get what the folds are, and then it becomes a little bit easier to understand. But in the end, here's what you got. You got your paper bag folded down like this. Okay? See how we did that? This was the bottom of the paper bag, and we've just completely got those sides folded out. And I folded it down to match this line. So we're going to use this line then, and I'm just going to fold it right over. And that then becomes our envelope top. And a bone folder is great for this project because you really have to do some smoothing out on this one. Get that paper bag trained to go the opposite way. Okay, now the bottom here, you want to fold it up, but you need to leave a little bit of space where that fold is. Don't go all the way up here. Leave a little bit of room because you're going to want to be able to fold the flap down and get things tucked in here. So fold this down. See, I've left a good amount of space all along the top there. Okay, fold that down. My bag retrained. So this is the basic shape of our envelope. Okay, so now we're just going to cover it all up. And what I did was, I flipped it over. So now this is the one smoothest side. I took my 12 by 12 scrapbook paper and I'm going to measure out my bag. And I wanted my the scrapbook paper to be, I want it to be slightly in. Like see this one here, you can see just a little bit of the paper bag. So I trimmed my paper just a little bit further in, and I didn't go right to the edge. If you do go right to the edge, I'm afraid maybe it might catch if you don't glue it super tight. So I am going to mark here, and I will cut in just a slight little bit. So I'm just going to mark out where my bag sits. Move that off to the side, bring in my paper trimmers here. And so then I want to go just a little bit over my mark, not too much. You can see I just barely cut on the other side of my mark. So that should bring me in on my paper bag just enough to still show some of the border. Whoops. On the paper bag. Okay. Now you're going to need this piece for the inside. So now we should have a pretty good fit here. Oops. I try to move stuff and everything falls down. Okay. So now you can see I've got just a little bit of a border. Actually, I don't have too much. I might want to trim that down just a little bit more maybe. Or am I good? I'm too close for my comfort right here. See, I don't want it to go all the way to the edge. So I'm going to trim it down just a tad bit more. I think it's about time to change the blades. I'm getting the frayed edges. Okay, let's go down just a tiny bit more. Okay, that should be perfect now. Okay, so now let's see what we got. Yes, better. Okay, so now you can still see my paper bag border around the edge. So that's a little bit better for me. And then I need to see how far we are from the bottom here. Let's get lined up. Want it pretty close to the bottom. I think maybe about there. I'm going to have to do some trimming on the top yet. Yep. Okay, so I'm just going to do one of these numbers, and then I'm going to get that trimmed down. So you can use scissors or handy trimmers, whatever you find easier. I'm not a good straight cutter. Okay. So then here, I'm just going to angle it so I'm on the other side of my line, so it's a little bit farther in than my line. Okay. And then a little bit on the inside of my line here. Let's get straight maybe. Oh, that looks good. Okay, so there we go. And that's about the most fussing you have to do with this. That's probably about the most fussy part about this project. The rest of it's pretty smooth going here. Okay, so now you can see my piece of paper fits on here. And I have a border all the way around. So I like that. I think that looks good. And I am just going to go ahead, and you can go ahead and ink it up now, or you do not have to ink it all. I like to ink, so I normally always do. It's just part of my fun process. Not necessary. Okay. And then I want to go ahead, and I'm just going to take my glue stick. Any glue stick will work. Again, if you want to sew around this, you just don't need to use as much glue. If you aren't going to sew, then just apply your glue heavier. So on this one, maybe, since I sewed the other two, I'll show you this one as a no sew. And we can just, we can fake it. We can just put some sewing lines on there ourselves. Draw them on and make them look good. Okay, we're all sticky there. And I found it's easier to work from this end first. So line it up at this end. And give yourself your little border. Got it lined up fairly good. Straight. Okay. Looks pretty good. All right, I'm a little bit off on my cutting, but I think that's just, I cut it a little bit crooked. So we're just going to smush her down. And this is where the bone folder comes in handy. Really squash this thing down. Get those edges. You may have to go back and just get any little end pieces here that want to try to sneak up on you. Okay, so there you go. You have your whole piece covered, and I'm just going to give that a little trim there. Is that glue done? That might be all right. Okay, we can forfeit that idea. Okay, so now we have our whole back page covered. So turn it over, and let's try to train it. So that fold there. And you can score this or whatever. I don't have a scoreboard or anything, so I just kind of try to go back and find my folds and squash her down. And I think this is a cute little envelope. Tuck all kinds of goodies in there. You know, you could even make these and, you know, stick a handwritten note in there and a gift card or something like that for somebody as a gift. Cute, because these are actually, like I said, they're really sturdy. I was pretty surprised with just using like this lighter weight. I thought maybe I'd have to use the heavy cardstock scrapbook paper, but the lighter weight scrapbook paper really works better almost. Okay, so there we go. Now I have my folds all trained down. Okay. Now what we want to do is this whole section here, I just covered on this one. I didn't cover the bottom, so I didn't cover this piece, and I just did like a, you know, torn up book pages on the top. On this one, I took a piece of old vintage magazine page, and I covered the whole section here. So maybe on this one, I'll just grab, because I have it here, a piece of vintage newspaper magazine. I'm trying to just figure out which side I like better. Maybe we'll just go with this one. Kind of like this little letter here, if I can get that on there. I've got plenty of it. Okay, so same thing here. I'm just going to kind of eyeball measure it out, and I'm going to kind of just trace around it here if I can, just so I can get it cut down a little bit. And okay, so I only want to go to here for sure. Okay, so let me just get this, and maybe I'll just do, this is really thin paper, so maybe I can just do the ruler tearing and get this cut down just a bit. Okay, there we go. And now that will be my bottom here. So do I want to like send, oh, I wanted this piece right here, didn't I? If I can get that in there, where do I have to go to get that in there? Okay, so now I'm just using my bag here as my measurement, going just a little further in. And let's just get this cut down. So line my ruler and tear. Old paper tears like butter. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay, so there we go. That's plenty far enough in. Maybe, how good can I get at this? Should I just do one of these numbers? Like, okay, I want it to go to there. Okay, if I can get it torn straight, maybe. Okay, that is good. And then we just have our little wingies to get rid of. So maybe I can just do one of these if this goes here. Line it up. Where's my corner? Okay, perfecto. And then the other corner. So these, I think you could use all kinds of stuff. I mean, you could collage these whole things up. I mean, this could be a whole scrap project. You don't even need to have full sheets of anything. All right, I'm just going to get this little corner and then these little bits. Okay, call it good. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to ink this guy up just because I like the way it looks on there. And we'll get this guy stuck down. So I'm trying to come up with some cool things or cool ways to get lots of things, you know, stuffed into one project. So what better than an envelope to hide all kinds of stuff in, right? Plus they kind of are cool little storage things. You can just store your own little pieces in them, your own little bits and pieces. Alrighty, I think we're good. Let's get gluing on this. And the only thing you want to make sure is when you glue something down on this, if you have any little flaps here, you're going to want to try to get those down, otherwise they're going to pull up when you glue your paper down. So just stick some glue in there and smush it down. And your flap here, you're going to want to get that glued down. We don't want any flaps coming loose. No flaps in the wind. Okay, and then let's glue all around this thing. And get our page stuck down. Okay, lots of glue, lots of glue. Go. Looks sticky enough. Like I said, since we're not going to do a sew on this one, we got to make sure we're stuck good. We don't want anything coming loose. All right. Turn it around. Get it lined up. And there's no going back now. You're stuck. All right. There we go. Stick her down and squash it. Okey-doke. Looking good, looking good. Okay. Got a little breakage there, no worries. It's vintage. It's supposed to be looking old. Okay, and then let's just ink around a little bit, and then, okay, let's get our folds back in here. If you want to go ahead and ink up your folds, it's kind of a cute look. Okay, and let's bend this one backwards and get that inked in there a little bit. Okay, and we're coming around the home stretch. All right, I think it looks good. Okay, so let's do the bottom. Get that inked. Okay, so now our last step is, since we're going to use this as a double pocket, what we're going to do is we're going to like glue this side here and here, and the paper bag, this middle piece, you know, your bag part, this is going to become one of your pockets, and this is pretty thin. So this is where I just took my piece that I had cut off, and I'm just going to put it in here to help reinforce this that flap inside our pocket. So I'm just going to cut this down, and we're going to get that glued inside there, and then that will just help reinforce this thin paper bag. Okay, so then I'm just going to ink this up. Again, you're really only going to see the top part of it, but just like that way that looks. And then my bags have those, the thumb holes in them. So what I'm going to do is, and this is another just optional step, whatever you like, I'm going to kind of try to copy the thumb hole there, and I won't probably see the back side of this, but just in case, I'm just going to ink that up just to get rid of that white paper. Okay, so now I have that lined up there, and I'm just going to like stick this in there then. Sit up there a second. Stay. Okay, so let's get this guy glued in there. And get it stuck in there. So now you guys slide it in there and hope it doesn't stick to everything. Okay, so slide her on in there. Looks good. Okay, squash her down, fold it up, make sure everything looks good. Okay, and so now you have your double pocket envelope. The last thing we need to do then is we're just going to glue the sides right here. So just this side, and then just this side. Okay. And glue this guy. So you're going to want some strong holding glue. Can you see the glue strings everywhere? Got glue everywhere, stucco everywhere. Okay, so let's get this held down for a second. Let it get stuck. And then the fun part is just, you can decorate this guy up however you want. So here's our pretty much completed envelope, paper bag, squishy envelope, double pocket. How cute. And these actually, I'm not going to pull on this one too hard. It's not quite dry yet. But this one here, like, I mean, you can open them up. I'm pushing on this guy pretty hard. I mean, these are pretty expandable, you know? So they're actually really functional. Okay, so now on this one you saw I did a closure. I did the little tag closure. So if I do a closure on this one, I would put, I just have these little scrap pieces, like I just cut out 1-inch little scrap pieces. Do we want to do something contrasting like a purple or maybe a red? Do we like the red? I like the red. Okay, so then I just will only glue this bottom half here. So let's get our closure on. And you could do any kind of closure really. You could do the I thought like the, you know, like punching a hole with the eyelet and doing those, you know, those stretchy elastic bands, like the real thin cord elastic band things. Sometimes they have cool ones like in gold colors or whatever. You do thinking holiday, or even just a white. Or you could just do like a ribbon closure, or even just take a rubber band. But you can be super, super simple and just use a piece of scrap paper. And then what you do is, these are flexible, and then you just kind of like tuck them under there. And obviously this is all still wet and everything yet, so I really got to wait for my glue to hold and stick. But I mean, that is a really cute closure. Easy, simple. And then on this one, I had gone ahead and I just did some stamping. I did a little cluster here, just a couple of pieces. I didn't do anything too bulky because when you know, it is going to have to bend a little bit when I open this, so I didn't want to do anything right in the middle. So I tried to stay to the sides so that I could open my envelope, and I tried to keep it flat. And then on the front here, I just did some lace and a label. So maybe, let's see, what can we do? Should we do, I kind of like the stamping on the back. So maybe let's find a cool stamp. This is a pretty busy pattern, but still. I have these cute little birdies I kind of really like. These guys are really cute. Let's see if we can get this little trio of fat little birdies on there. Who doesn't love a fat little birdie with a hat on? Right? Can't resist. Keep down. Let's see if you guys show up on here at all. Alrighty, right in the center. Looks good, right? Okay, stick it and squish it. Alrighty, here goes. Oh, they kind of show up. See, that's kind of cute. They kind of really blend in with the background, but still, you can see them there. They're cute. It's a little something. Okay, so then what else did I do? Oh, we just did like a little cluster or some, how about 1 second? Let me go get, okay, I just got some lace trim here. How about maybe we put a little bit of this on there? Where can we put this? And now it's just all about the fun part, just decorating until you can't decorate no more, right? Okay, so let's just get this right along this side here. And this is just the fun play part now. This is my favorite part, just the playing part. Okay, so we got a little bit of lace there. That looks kind of cute. How about, we need a little bit of color, something with color. What can we do with color? Digging in my bin of cut-off, or my fussy cuts here. We got butterflies. What else do we got? I need something bright. That's kind of pretty. Oh, just pick something, right? That's what you're telling me. I can hear it. Just pick something already. Oh, that's kind of cute. Maybe we should do that. Should we do... Oh, that looks pretty. Okay. Let's just get this guy inked up a little bit here. This is one of those... This is from a digital kit I got from Shabby Dabby Doodah. Love her digitals. And then maybe we can just stick that right there. Looks cute. Open your glue, otherwise it won't come out. Duh. Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. And let's just get that stuck off to the side. Looking cute, like that. How cute. Gorgeous. Okay, and then I've been doing the labels. How about, should we do a red label? I don't like that. I cut that one off. Let's see. I'm just over here digging. I'm digging. You want to see what I'm digging for? Digging for a red label. You'd think I'd have a red label. Ooh, there's a red label. How does that one look? Red, maybe I should go for blue or purple. Now I'm not liking the red. Indecisiveness. Blue, blue, blue. That looks better. Does that look better? It's like, can't hear you. Or that blue. That blue, that blue. You're like, geez, woman, just put something down. I know, right? I'm sorry. Purple? Ooh, there we go. Purple. Okay. See, you know when you know. You just got to find the right one. I know. I'm sorry it took me so long. I think that's my problem, you know, when I'm trying to do a video, I get too rushed. I have to rush. I feel like I have to rush, but I guess I don't. I should just take a deep breath and just craft, right? Okay. I figured if you want to leave, you left me by now, whatever, that's fine, right? Okay. I just need to get over it. Yes. Okay. Okay, I talked myself into it. All right, let's get this stuck there. All right. Looks cute. I like that. So there we've got our front pretty well decorated up. Nothing too extreme, just a little simple something. Okay, we got a little stamp on the back. And then we got our little closure that just will, I think I glued my closure down. Yes, I did. Oh my goodness. See, this is what happens when you get too rushed. You end up gluing it down. Okay, let's just pull that back a little bit. There we go. Okay, that still works. So now you have your little closure there. And then you flip it open. And then you can stick all your little goodies in there. So there you go. I hope you guys give this paper bag double pocket envelope a try. And don't forget to subscribe and like, and let's keep on crafting. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.